So now we need to move on to the actual GIS work. Let's look at what we've got here. I have, of course, done this before, so I have a project already called Exercise 4, but I'll show you how to do this all anew. I'm using the basic structure of the course folder with our raw data here, and we have the data in here and here. Mine's a little more advanced than yours perhaps because I have other data included. And we also have this docs folder for certain documentation that we might need, project instructions, for example, and then we have a folder for the final product that we wish to deliver, what you want graded. So that's the basic structure. It's essentially the same as what you should be using. SBG051, no spaces or anything nasty like that, and then straight down to the raw data and our project folders. The project folders are going to be created by, in this case, we're going to be using ArcGIS Pro. So as you can see, I've already done exercise 4, but I'll do a new one. We'll create a new project by just clicking on map, and I'm going to call this X4 because I've already used exercise 4. So let's just and we've got create a new folder for the project. Yes, but where do I want to create it? Let's skip that default location because frankly that is horrendous. The most unreliable server on earth. We go to users and we want my username, and then we need to go to documents, and we're going to save it in there. Thank you. Okay, so that's the general location. That's where we want to save our project, and the project folder is going to be called X4. And not just the project folder, but also all the other stuff that ArcGIS Pro needs, the database and the toolbox and the project file, that sort of thing. So now we click on OK. We give it a couple of minutes. And here we go. We're in, and we kill those because I really don't want them. Remove. So we've got our blank canvas. I've signed in up here. We need to do one more thing before we start. We click on project and we go to licensing, and then we wait a while because why wouldn't you? Then you configure your licensing options, and then this is going to take some more time as well. If you get bored, go make a cup of tea, do something. There we go. So I have some. What you want is this spatial analyst ticked. You don't have to worry about these others. I have them ticked because I do lots of other things, but the one you want is spatial analyst. That has to be ticked. Click on OK there, and then we go back, and we've got this empty project here. So the next step is to go to catalog. Now, if you don't have catalog already here, you can find it under view there, and you can get your catalog up there, but I've got it already pinned there. So I'll go to catalog, to folders, and we can see we've got exercise 4 there, but I need one more thing. I need to right click, add folder connection, and then I want to go to there, there, and there, and then there, and raw data. I want raw data. There we go. Now, what we need to add for this is our elevation model. So under get, you should have something called HOID data, and the DEM there. You can just drag that into the map. So that should now be being dragged in. Bear in mind I'm working locally. The ArcGIS Pro is installed on this computer, the data is on this computer, and still it takes this long. So when you're working on a remote desktop, you might experience some lag and delay there. So now we have our DEM, and as you can see, it's in grayscale, where the dark values are low and the light values are high. But let's give this some color because the gray is going to represent something else soon. So we right click on there, we go to symbology, we want to stretch. This is a color stretch. We're stretching the values in the file over a range of colors, even if the colors here are black and white. We click on this show names here. We've clicked here and then we click on show names to get the names of these different color palettes up, and then we can go down, and I think the one we want is that one. Now that's good, that's more colourful, but it's not ideal. So if we try and edit that one, this grey colour is not what we expect it to be. I mean, that looks more like water. It is water, believe me. And then we click on that. Now this is never going to be perfect. I'm going to choose this Sugi Light Sky. That's a very peculiar name, but we'll set that one, that left, to there. Then this colour range goes from a blue, watery kind of thing, up to other colours. And then we get a more water-like colour at the bottom of our DM. The lowest areas are more water-like. Now obviously this whole thing here is also a river, and it's not blue at all, because the colours are just based on elevation and nothing else. It can't know that is what this is, that this is a river. The computer just knows that this is at a particular elevation, and the colours are based entirely on that. If we like, what we can do is we can go to the symbology again on that. Thank you. Where did that go? Symbology, and we can see we've got a lot of decimal places there. So this is the values that are being used, and we're doing a percent clip in this case. We could change that to something else if we wanted, but let's not. Let's just leave it at that for now. You can experiment, play around, but for now let's just change that to 32, because we really don't have micrometer accuracy in our elevation model. Meters above sea level. I think we can do that there, and then we go to this one, and we can change that right now. Similarly, I think that's an exaggeration of the accuracy in this map, so we'll just put that 4 meters above sea level, and then that's done. So now we have a slightly more accurate legend over here as well. That will be handy later on. So what else do we need to do? We can add another layer to this. We go back to catalog, and then we want our fastighetskarta. So this is the property map. Now these are all shape files. These contain the actual data that we're going to be adding. But we also have within this, we have some layer files which contain styling. They contain information about what the map should look like. These only contain the geometry and other information. It doesn't say about how you should show the information on the screen. So if we instead click on this, we can take the property map. I think in the instructions I say fastighetskartan, but as we're doing this now in English, let's just take the property map lyrics, and we see we've got this whole map with correct styling, correct for the Swedish Land Survey's map. But we don't want all of this, frankly, so let's unclick most of this. In fact, why don't we do it this way, that we unclick everything, and then, no, we can't unclick everything, that was my mistake. We can delete everything, but we can't unclick everything all at once. So let's make all of that invisible, because we don't want most of it. But what we do want is the hydrology. So let's have a look. Where do we have? There's hydrography there, and we have water there. So this leaves us with a map. If we then just take that down a bit to there, if I were to get rid of that, we can see that we've got where the Swedish Land Survey thinks there is water, or knows there is water. On top of that, we can just hide that for now, because that's kind of what we're going to be checking against. It also helps with some of our visualization later on, but it's now included. What we might want to do is just quickly save, now that we've imported some stuff and we've styled it. So let's just save our project so that nothing untoward can happen. It can happen, but if it does, it doesn't matter quite so much. We mark that, and now what we want to do is we want to do a hill shade of this. There are several ways, but let's use the geoprocessing toolbox. We have it there, but we can also pick it up from our tab here if you've already done that. And we want to find tools, so we'll just type in hill shade, and it comes up with that there. We click on the Spatial Analyst version of it, just for safety's sake, and we give it a second because obviously, and then we go DEM, and then let's just give that a decent name. I'm going to save it in there in the database. So what I've done is I've gone to the database. I'm going to save it in the database, and I'm going to call it Hillshade because that's a good thing to do. Now we look at the settings here for this. This is going to be the angle from where it's. If we see if there's the information, azimuth angle of the light source. So we've got our degrees. This is telling us where around the compass the light is coming from, and this shows us how the angle above the horizon that the sun is at. This is a standard value. Let's just leave it at that and click run. It shouldn't take terribly long. This is a reasonably quick calculation. There we go. But now we can't see our DEM. So that with Hillshade marked, we can go to, let me see, not imagery, appearance. That's the one. So Hillshade appearance, and then let's just pull that up to about 50. Let's just take that down one. There we go. So there's our hillshade. It's 50% transparent, so that we can see the colors through. And what we get with the hillshade draped on top of the colors, with it transparent like this, is that we get some idea, a better idea of what things look like. What is the topography doing? We can more clearly see that this is a river channel cut in through here. We can kind of get that idea from the colors as well, but this just helps us to strengthen that idea. And we can see roads and other smaller features here. If we then overlay our water features there, the ones that we get for free from the Swedish Land Survey, they look like this. And as we can see, some of these are just lines and others are polygons delineating a larger area. So that's the first step. Let's just save that again, so that's done. We don't have to lose anything later on, should it happen. So we've created our nice visualization of the topography. We haven't really done any analysis yet, but we've got data into our project ready to go.